Finally,
Yeah, I know it's been a busy week, right?
most definitely, man. Uh, Thanksgiving and all of that rush and just it's everybody else's energy is so hype. You gotta calm and still yourself and just move forward.
hmm Did you have a nice Thanksgiving though?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was all right.
Yeah,
You
that's
know, it,
cool. Is your family
it's
like
not.
crazy, like, or is it like the memes, or is it? Or your family's pretty chill?
I don't do those family dinners anymore. Like, I
Really?
kind of, yeah. My direct family is me and my lovely wife. And we just kind of spent time together, and then she went and kicked it with her extended family. But no,
hmm
I don't do that anymore. Politics,
I feel you.
religion. I'm not.
Yeah. What's up,
All
date
of
night with
that.
Ghost Gang?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel
Most
you
definitely.
though, because they do
Yeah.
get crazy. Them Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah. And it's so much, politics and religion and stuff is so much part of my day-to-day conversation, just dealing with people out there. I'm not trying to do that with family and loved ones.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No, I totally get you. I totally get you.
Most definitely. But
How does your
I
family feel
like
about what you do?
it depends on which part of the family, it depends on which cousin you're asking. I think they're all glad that I'm doing something and they're just seeing how
Right.
it shakes out.
hmm No, I
Yeah.
totally get you on that. I'm doing
Yeah,
good. Date night with Ghost Gang.
I came from
How about you?
from I came from a church family. So like most of them are really into that world, like apostolic, Pentecostal, stuff like that. So they don't really deal too much with the esoteric.
Right. Because it's a whole rabbit hole, but I feel like it's two different worlds that can coexist. Like I do know Catholics that mess with the esoteric, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's just it takes a certain type of person to have that open mindedness, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to Catholic school, and
Really?
we dived into theology a lot, and that was really the tipping point for me. That was like the first time I realized how crazy scripture and religion and that kind of thought process could be.
Right.
Um, and I was encouraged to dive into it and to look at it critically. And that was
Mhm.
one of theology was one of the classes that I did very well at in Catholic high school.
That's
So
cool, man.
yeah, it definitely led me to where I am now. So I'm grateful
Yeah.
for that.
I'm in college right now and I have a couple of philosophy classes that I'm gonna be taking in the next like
Yeah.
the first one I'm gonna be taking in March. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. Are you
I'm
excited?
excited for those classes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Cause like I was
What do
telling
you?
you before, like I'm studying this on like an academic level, but also on like in my everyday practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It
So it's just cool to
diving
see.
diving into the esoteric and into philosophy will inform the way that you look at history, and
Exactly.
it'll make you do a deeper dive and look at the things you've been told with a more critical eye than ever.
hmm
I just I don't want to dive into it too much because I have to do my own research, but I came across a theory that the Boston Tea Party wasn't exactly about the taxation before representation. They
Yeah.
were they they were jumping on that boat trying to get the records of Prince Hall from Prince Hall Freemasonry starting
hmm
his charter,
Yeah.
and they were trying to destroy those records
hmm
so that there wouldn't be black Freemasons. But
Right.
that's obviously nothing we would ever hear in school.
Right.
And I
They
wouldn't
teach
get
it a
to
little differently in school, right?
exactly. So I don't want to go too far into it until I actually look at some records and different theories and stuff myself. But that's just an example of where your mind could go to, when it comes to this.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's introduce you. You are Gigi Magic, and what do you do exactly?
I'm a Freemason first and foremost.
Okay.
I'm a
Explain that to
spokesperson.
somebody that doesn't know what that is.
A Freemason. Okay, so once upon a time, every profession had a school of thought. Every profession had a handshake. There were stone cutters, the people that we now call architects, that built temples. They were called masons. Uh, and the arts of masonry have continuously been taught to those who aren't stone cutters, but cutters of thought and
Right.
cutters of society. The people that build society and build relationships and build the mind. That's what a Freemason is. I learned the arts of masonry, but in a speculative way, and it informs the way that I think. It informs the way that I react.
So it's not really
And
like a religion, it's like a lifestyle kind of thing, right?
it's a system, you know,
Right.
and it can touch on religion, and it does, but it also touches on science,
Mhm.
touches on history. It touches the fabric of who you are as a human being, and it challenges you to be a better man. And that's what I am. I try to be a pillar in my community at all times.
Right. I think that's why a lot of people kind of gravitate towards witchcraft and things like that because it's I always tell people it makes you take a step forward in your life and then you're also going to be taking those steps forward in your craft, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
most
going to be doing
definitely,
the thing. So I
most
think there's
definitely.
similarities with that.
Most definitely, yeah. So that's taking me into Kabbalah, gematria, chaos magic, all of the hermetic principles. I try to understand reality so I could explain it best to others and help them move through life as well as help myself, man. And
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
'cause
I'm,
the
I'm
everybody's on a journey, right? So it's just kinda like figuring out how you wanna navigate that and make it make sense for you. always tell people, just
exactly,
do whatever practice you wanna do, just make it make sense for you and just quantify that and just really get to know yourself and get to know your like, the
exactly.
way the world is, like, in your kinda way of seeing it, because everybody's
Yeah,
unique.
yeah. Most definitely, man. And I see my job as kind of changing people's perspective on masonry. At one time,
It's like a
they were,
paradigm shift.
yeah. So much goes on with internet culture and rumors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It takes you to get out there and be an example. You could talk about what you do and what you don't do, but people want to see you. People want to see you out in the open. They want to see how you move. They want to hear what you're talking about. And that's the kind of Mason I am. So
That's cool. And how do you tie in chaos magic? Because I also do chaos magic.
chaos magic is everything. So if I were to equate chaos magic to hip hop, you would just say it's freestyle. It's free of
Right.
style. You can do it anyway. Um, it's like if you're a gamer, if you're a video gamer and you like to go in the control settings and change your controls, that's what chaos magic is. It makes magic very unceremonious,
Yeah.
and I feel like kind of takes all of the pomp and circumstance out of it, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, it's not
So would
about
you also
being
say you don't subscribe to dogma? Like you don't subscribe to that way of thinking. You kind of like you want to make it up as you go and keep what works and then get rid of what doesn't work.
when it comes to how I work, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I in my mind, I always have a dogma in my head about how things are running down, and as I think we all do. But I
Right.
do not subscribe to classic dogma at all. You know. And I don't hold other people to that standard that I hold myself to. So
Right. Yeah, cuz everybody's different, man, but that's cool. Your practice seems really layered, you know? A lot of people might have a practice and it kind of seems kind of flat, which is cool. You know, everybody has their thing, right? But yours seems
yeah,
like layered and like, you know what I mean? What's going on, chicken?
I'm
67.
not
What's
a
going on? How you feeling?
I'm what's up, chicken? Yeah, what's up to everybody in the chat? I'm not performative in the way that I see a lot of my peers on the Instagram feed and the TikTok feed are, and that's not. I'm not talking about anybody like anybody in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Just for me, I'm an expressive person.
Right.
I don't need to put on a show. I'm learning as I go along, as many of us are, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the most important thing about magic and esotericism in general. Everybody likes to come on and be like they're the all-knowing Houdini, but
Right.
Houdini kind of drowned doing his own magic tricks, so clearly he didn't know everything.
Right.
But and that's the first thing about being a master is admitting that you're still a student.
Well, I think that's super important. Like always being a student of the game. And I'm doing good, chicken. I'm glad you came to stop by. We're just having a little magic talk, esoteric talk, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
yeah, most
But
definitely.
yeah, man, that's cool. So how would you
Yeah.
say you express that creativity?
Oh man, I okay. So creatively, I love creating music
Hmm.
because it
I seen you play
coincides.
guitar,
I play guitar. I play
which is
guitar.
crazy.
I dabble in R&B, but it all connects with that geometry, with that sacred geometry. If you really understand that every musical measure and beat was already playing before you struck a chord,
Hmm.
we're just getting in on it, just like double dutch. It's
Right.
already happening because it's already mathematical. So I love creating in that aspect. I love drawing sigils. I love expressing my magic and that whole current through words. Words are very powerful, and I love creating energy through tarot. Taking negative energy away from people by taking their worries away, showing a
Hmm.
clear path in front of them. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And I'm always discovering new things.
Yeah,
Got to keep an open heart and an open mind.
I definitely think so because it's like when you're researching these things, right? It's kind of like rabbit hole after rabbit hole, and it's kind of like it gets kind of deep and crazy, right?
Yeah, most definitely, most
Yeah,
definitely.
but I think that's why we love it because we're always looking for the answers, like of the unknown,
Yeah,
like what
yeah, yeah,
happens in the spirit world, what happens after death, how do we
yeah.
manipulate the energy around us and be able to do telepathy and like ESP and all these things that we
Right.
all love talking about, you know?
Right. And I'm always discovering new things about myself, about my capabilities, about my ancestry, about the world around me, and it informs me, and I'm able to impart that knowledge on others and see how it affects them for the better, and that's what my mission is, affecting the
Yeah.
community in a positive way, you know.
Hmm.
It
Yeah, no,
goes
that
as
totally
far as
makes sense.
this conversation we're having right now.
I think these conversations are important, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah, especially like moving forward now that science is taking this stuff seriously and like 'cause like I said, I'm studying this stuff in college. So it's like
Yeah,
you can get a PhD in this stuff. Like it's something that a lot of people are taking serious and it's like we're right on the edge of finding out the answers. Like everything is brand new. Like music in general, like you're talking about music. Music in general is like brand new, brand new. Like
yeah,
rap came out like 50 years ago. Like everything is brand new, right?
yeah, yeah.
So this is just another thing that's brand new and we're just right at the start of it. So I'm just glad
Exactly.
like in our lifetimes we're gonna be able to lay those building blocks right now, you know?
Exactly. And for me, it's been about finding the space for that creativity beyond the desire to monetize it. So it's
Hmm.
not always about creating music that I would feel would be a sellable product.
Right.
Sometimes it's just about creating what I love and
Exactly.
what my body and soul responds to. that vibration changes something within me or within the people that I'm sharing it with. And when you understand it on that level, then it's something that could never be monetized, you know?
Exactly. And it doesn't feel like you're doing something with like any kind of bad intentions. You're doing it because it's something that you genuinely like to do, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I've had issue with apps like school, because as great as it is to share my thoughts with somebody, it's so weird to pay someone for the space to share knowledge, and
Yeah, it's
then to have
crazy.
to, and then to have to monetize that knowledge, which is
Mm-hmm.
really out here for free. The only thing I did was gather it and compress it in an
Mm-hmm.
understandable way, and then to
Yeah.
have to monetize that knowledge and sell it to someone else just so I could pay the first guy for their space on the internet. Mm,
It's our whole mindset that we've been programmed to think because we're the only animals in the whole animal kingdom that thinks this way, that thinks to that even have that train of thought to even think, oh, I need to monetize this just to sell it,
yeah,
just to keep above. No, the rest of the world is like
right on.
they're not operating that way, you know?
Right, right. So for me, I go off of vibe and energy. I tell people, I read tarot for you. If you feel the need to donate, please donate. I'm grateful for it, but I'm not gonna chase people for a set price. I can't put a price on spirit. I can't put a price on your happiness and your wellness. If there's a message for you, there's a message for you.
Hmm.
Now, if you honor spirit and you honor the God within, then you would honor me and bless me in the same way. But
Right.
trying to put a price tag on everything,
It's
I
crazy.
feel it rings the magic out of the world.
It does, right?
Yeah,
It definitely takes the magic out of it because now you're already your intention is already not pure as if it were to be free.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's it's so cool that you get that because a lot of people don't get that, you know what I mean? Because magic starts at the intention, like in your subconscious. So before you even think to do something, spirit already
Right.
knows.
Right, right, right. I mean,
So they
okay,
already know
so
your intentions are fucked up. Now you're doing this
yeah.
for money
So
instead of doing it just to really get answers or whatever. Like it's crazy.
so I look at it like this. You and I met because my page has been taken off in this very unreal way. And when
Mhm.
I started that page in particular, I started it just wanting to share energy with others. I didn't start it out of, hey, pay me because I'm wonderful. I
Mhm.
started just sharing ideas, esoteric ideas, occult ideas, Masonic ideas that I felt like would be beneficial to my Masonic brothers, to my magical brothers and sisters out here. Um, just the people that needed hope and positivity in their life. So if I then turn that around and put a price tag on it, I'm closing down that portal of energy
Yeah,
because that's not the energy that started my trajectory forward. So
exactly.
I need to be thankful and show the same love to the universe that's been shown to me. I can't
Mhm.
decide how that is. It's universal law.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally get you on that, man. But it's cool. Me and you talked before, and we talked about writing a book for Chaos Magic. I think that'd be a really fun project. We should talk about that.
I'm all the way open to that, man. I think people would really benefit from just seeing how chaos magic works for different
Like a
people on the
2026, 2027, like a current, like not what people were doing 10 years ago, 15 years, like how are people practicing now from people that are actively practicing it, you know? How do we work
exactly
this into our normal day-to-day life? How does it
exactly
benefit
exactly.
us?
It's an everyday thing. It's just part of how I wake up. It's part of how I go to sleep.
It
Um,
is. Because it is
it
so much different than ceremonial, right? Like if you talk to people that do strictly like ceremonial magic, like there's a hierarchy and there's like they do it for different there's like a start and there's like an end. With chaos,
yeah,
it's like we're already thinking in the way of like this is going to be a
exactly,
lifelong journey, you know, so there is no end. We're just always going to be learning. You know,
exactly.
our mindset is different. Just, you know, there's two types of people in the world, you know what I mean? So it'll be cool to write this book
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
for the people
yeah.
that have this kind of mindset, you know what I mean?
Right, right, right. So chaos. I'm also a real big Discordian, and chaos is at the heart of Discordia,
Right.
and then it loops back around. When I reached the 32nd degree in masonry, one of our mottos is ordo ab cal, order through chaos.
Mhm.
you know so I was able to take that ideology and discordianism and kind of impart that on my practice, and I just watched everything within my life blossom.
And then it's
Because
like it's I seen that too, but for me it was like after I had that spiritual awakening, everything I touched after that just became like it seemed like anything that I wanted to like put my focus on, I could make it
yeah,
cool, make it to where, you know,
yeah,
make it like a thing, you know, because that's why I like creating. I like cool shit. I think everybody does.
yeah, of
And
course,
I like talking to people that make cool shit like you and like the other people that I've had on the show too.
yeah. you know
You
i
know?
i, I had the privilege of growing up in the early 90s, um where we were still watching all of the 80s movies and listening to all the Gen X music, you
Hmm.
know, and that kind of informed my view on cool for the rest of my life. So
Right.
when the 80s trends came back, I was already right there because all the movies in my DVD collection were 80s movies,
He was already
Um,
knowing.
that's the blessing about being born right before the turn of the century, because all of the things that are just getting ready to come back around, you're at an interesting part of the revolution.
Hmm.
You're literally born within a turn. Um, so
I
I,
was
I
born in 98, so I was like right at the end of that. I think
yeah,
my generation
oh,
was like the last generation to like see Blockbuster and like see a house phone and things like that.
what a great time, man. 98 is, yeah, 98 was a solid year for sure.
Yeah. He's over here thinking about what he did in 98.
No, I was thinking about the music, man. Just some of the music from back then, and that was just a really good time. It was kind of it was still at this commercial stage that we're in now, but the but
Yeah.
the authenticity was still there. It was
Because it
before
was newer,
everything.
right?
Yeah, it was newer. It was newer. That was before everything got completely plastic.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. 1998, I went to see the Rugrats movie.
Oh, for real. I remember having
Yeah,
that on VHS, the orange one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a good one, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Most
that was a good
definitely.
time.
Yeah, man. So where has this podcast brought you as far as socially, esoterically, like since the very first moment that you conceived it in your mind to right now?
It,
Where and what has it brought you?
it's crazy because I started it talking like, I don't know, I just wanted a podcast and I just wanted to talk about, I wanted to like do ghost stories, right?
Okay.
So I just
Yeah,
would find like ghost stories and talk to people that had cool ghost stories. So
yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
how it started.
Okay.
But then it kind of morphed into this kind of esoteric, spiritual, like this thing that even I didn't even see coming. Like I discovered the occult and then I was like, dang, this is crazy. But I saw that it was real, you know, and
Yeah.
that was kind of the key for me. I had to see it for myself that it was real. Because I started
Okay.
seeing just surrounding myself with other people that were in the space. But then I would start to notice things. I'm like, damn, these people were doing. They would claim that they're like witches and psychics, but I didn't quite understand what that meant
Yeah.
until I started
Okay.
just being around them. And I'm like, oh, you ever play poker with like a couple witches? Like they're gonna know some shit that you don't. They just know things, right? And like mediums, and because
Right.
they'll ask, they'll just be like, hey, give me the answer, and they'll tell them the answer, and
Yeah.
you would just see little like things like that. But then I started to notice it in myself. I
Okay.
started to
Yeah.
see that even I could do it. I'm like, I started noticing myself doing it. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody can do it. It's something that's like consciousness based or something. Like we're all connected somehow.
Right.
And we can connect to spirit, we can connect to NHI. And I just started to just do the research little by little and chip at it little by little. And then I discovered chaos magic, and then I kind of like started building my foundation in that. And then yeah, now it just kind of it's cool. Now I just get on here sometimes and talk to cool people like yourself, and it's cool.
Appreciate it.
It's definitely something I see myself doing for a while. Like it's cool. Like a couple hundred people will watch,
Yeah.
and I'm like, if
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm perfectly content. Like I'm like, if it doesn't grow anymore, I'm like, and it's just every time I drop a video, a couple hundred people watch. That's still like not zero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, if it doesn't grow anymore, it's cool. If it does, it's cool. But it's been growing, and so that's I think when people see you doing something that you're genuinely into, they fuck with it, right? They're like, "Oh, he's like on this journey." They get to watch
Mhm.
it. It's kind of cool.
And that's what it's about. Finding something that you love, that
Finding your
resonates
thing.
with your soul, and that resonates with other people. That's why Johnny Carson was one of the greatest talk show hosts, because he held that job down for years.
Yeah.
And when you saw Johnny hosting, no matter what you thought about him as a human being, you couldn't see him doing anything else. You know, there was just this love for sitting there and engaging with the guests like that. And I wish you much success in this, man. I could see you doing this for a while too, my friend.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And it just gives me it's like the three things in my life that kind of are like tied together, like college, because
Yeah.
I'm studying it like in there too with psychology. That's what I'm majoring in. But I'm
Okay.
studying like parapsychology. So
Okay.
college and then the podcast. So I get to talk to
Yeah.
people like you, and that just pick your brain and see how your paradigm is, see how your perspective. Because like I said, everybody's different. So that's a big part of the show of what I want to do. And then also, so college, the podcast, and then my everyday practice, my practice, the thing that I'm doing for the rest of my life. So it all kind of ties together.
Mm. So I'm gonna tell you, man, when I really opened my heart to the supernatural world,
Yeah.
that's when things started to unfold for me in the
Yeah,
most
exactly. You said it
supernatural
perfectly.
way. And I'm telling people, like, when I tell people I'm a Freemason, they think that I'm just talking about sitting in a lodge eating roast beef, shaking hands with a couple old men. Like, I'm talking about the world has opened up for me to the
Yeah.
point where, like, I'm not entirely sure I don't live in a Harry Potter movie sometimes. You
I'm
know?
sure I think it's Harry Potter times 10, honestly. I think anything that our minds can think of, I think it's possible.
Yeah. I when when I was awarded the 32nd degree, the very next day, it was my birthday, right? Hanging with my girl.
Mhm.
We go out to eat. And then she wants to stop at an antique store on the way home. Now, it's my birthday. I know I don't look like the kind of guy that wants to be at an antique store. Like, I'm not even gonna fake with you, but I just went, because I kept an open heart and an open mind, right?
Mhm.
So we walk into the antique store, and we go back. There's a little glass like plate, where little like a bowl kind of, where they have a bunch of pins, pins you can put on your hat or your jacket or whatever. There was a 32nd degree Masonic pin from the Scottish Rite from the Valley of Cleveland, Scott is right. That is exactly 100 years old to this date. It was from 1925.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I done fastened it right here.
That's crazy.
It was sitting amongst fishing pins and like all kinds of random things that really meant nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not the kind of thing that somebody just relinquishes, you
And it
know?
was just like the perfect sign that you needed at that
The
time.
very next day.
Yeah.
That's what this world is. You'll meet people you never expect. You never know who's watching.
Do you think everything is already planned? Like do you think like everything is supposed to happen in a certain kind of way? Or do you think we have that free will?
I think the pathways are already set.
Yeah,
Um,
I do too.
I
I've been seeing a lot of
I
evidence of
think
that
the
lately.
strings are already tied.
But
Some of
check this
us,
out. I think it's already set, and I think humans, aka mere mortals, the people that are walking amongst us every day, I think some people in this world are privy to that. Like they
yeah,
know how it works, and they kind of use it to their advantage. And I've been seeing a lot of
yeah,
evidence of
and
that
it's not.
lately.
No, no one person is called. They put it in the middle of the floor and they say, "Who's gonna come and get it?"
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Metatron's cube. You feel me? Wear it on my pinky.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred geometry. It's the flower of life. Very similar shape. Every point in here, like I was talking about the music, it's already here.
It is.
So Nikola Tesla is credited for the 369 rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love Tesla. I'm not going to shit on Tesla right here. That's my guy. But
Yeah.
he did not invent it. He
Yeah.
just isolated that theory of what was in that space of those patterns. And he was the
Mm-hmm.
first guy to say, hey, check it out. You could do it like this. But that's the same thing that Robert Johnson worked out at the crossroads. Now, the time periods might have intersected a little bit, but Robert Johnson didn't know anything about Tesla.
Yeah.
And if you came up to him and started talking about quantum physics, he might have wanted to fight you because he thought you were trying to insult him, call him dumb or something.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have known what you were talking about.
I even think that's changing nowadays. I think the way that we used to think about science and quantum physics and how the world is around us, I think for real in the next 10 years it's going to be like this awakening that yeah, everything that they told us it just isn't true. We can actually do shit that's
Because
crazy because
because
everything
you
is
got to
real.
think about it. We didn't need a college degree when we invented it.
Yeah. And they can't gatekeep it. I think that's why it's a secret. I think because they can't gatekeep it.
All they can do, and I mean the
They know that it's
proverbial
in every
they,
single human on this planet. Every single human has a consciousness.
all they can do is
It's the
make
same thing with the
knowledge
NHI and the
expensive.
UFOs. There's no they can't control the skies, you know?
Exactly. All they can do is make knowledge expensive by saying you have to spend X amount of dollars on a degree, and then you have to kowtow and wait for us to say that you're worthy of this job. But truth be told, when our ancestors created this stuff, there were no college degrees because there were no colleges, just knowledge. This is a
Yeah.
system. This is
It is a system.
a system about maintaining the status quo. And when you say you no longer care about the status, that is when you break through.
Mhm.
That is when you make real change. And that's why we're able to see that things are changing currently. You know,
Yeah, but it's like you mentioned earlier, you gotta kinda just give yourself to it and just kinda like you can't be half in, half out. Like once you're fully in, that's when you start to really notice it. I noticed the exact same thing.
it's 100%, you know, and I was very unsure when I started um talking about these things on my page as far as quantum physics and stuff. I didn't think anybody would want to hear what
Oh, it's
I
the
had
coolest
to
thing
say
ever.
on
Honestly,
it.
it's the coolest shit.
I've been getting so much love and so many great responses from people all over the world, Germany, Switzerland, um, California, Australia, South Africa. So much love and so much confirmation that I'm on the right path, and people enjoy it because I'm talking about it in a very down to earth, blue collar way. And
Right.
that's when I realized I'm like, wow, I don't need I don't need any of the extra bells and whistles. I just need to reach within. That's what masonry is about. You see it's the G inside of
Hmm.
the square and compass. The first thing we're told is that the G represents God. Then when you get a little further along, they'll say it represents gnosis, you know?
Yeah.
And then the final thing you're told that it
That's
means
interesting that they say it would represent gnosis. That's interesting.
right. And it doesn't stop representing God when they tell you it means gnosis. It just adds more meaning. And then
Yeah.
finally, it's about Genesis, generation, that generative quality of God. So masonry takes you from the God without to the God within,
Yeah.
right? And you got to work it like a system, just like whenever I've studied Islam, I study it as a system, not as a religion. To
Hmm.
respect to anybody that disagrees with my view, but for me, it's I self law am master, the God within, right? So that's the same thing, right? So, and once you learn that you got that generative spark within you, then you realize that you're within everything. And you start to think of Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. God is man and man is God, the spark within. So when you look at these old texts and you work them as a system, you realize that this knowledge has been here forever. And it's only man that tries to change things with scripture and with doctrine and dogma.
Exactly. For the
No, no,
unpure
no.
ways. And that's why I mentioned earlier, it's interesting that you said gnosis because
Yeah.
like you said, it's showing you the God within. So it's like making you come up with your own. That's why I love the occult so much, is because you're studying it and you're able to see in real time that there are a lot of different deities. There's a lot of different demons, there's a lot of different gods. Like
Mhm.
it's just but they all have a purpose, like you said, Allah, like arm or not Allah, the arm, body, head,
Yeah.
legs, that
Arm,
one.
leg, arm, head. Yeah,
That
yeah.
and then Allah has
Yeah.
a purpose, and then like they all have like a purpose, right? But it's just
Yeah.
making you. That's why he said gnosis. It's making you come up with your own philosophy, your own way of seeing the world, by studying it all, and then coming up with your own view of it.
Exactly.
But that's the bad part about people making doctrine and things like that because they put the impurities in there that just don't have to be there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm here to change. I feel like a lot of things have been hijacked by wicked people, and within this psychic war that we are in, my my station is just all about exposing the truth of the world and the beauty of the world and what's been given to us from the creator, you know
Hmm.
and you and I, we create the world we want to live in every day. It's right here.
Exactly.
We didn't
Hmm.
wait. We didn't wait for somebody to call us on a podcast. I could sit
Hmm.
around and fold my arms and be like, "Damn, I want to be on Joe Rogan. Damn, I wish Billy Carson hit me up." No. My man's got the Purgatory Club. You feel
Hmm.
me? You
We got
feel
to
me?
just do it.
Hey, and when we done snatched it out of purgatory and put it right on Front Street at Heaven's Gates. You feel me?
Exactly.
So we got to do that every day. We got to create the world we want to live in. and then other people
Exactly.
will want to participate in it. You know, thoughts and ideas become egregores. So if somebody says there's a hole over here, don't step on this rug, you really think there's a hole under that rug, and you will
I think
walk
that's
around that rug accordingly. That's
I
the
think that's the
ritual.
purest form of currency is that energy exchange. And I think
You
that's
better
when
say that.
when we get to that point in society when that's the currency is like, do I share this knowledge with this person or do I
You better
not?
say that. You better say that. That's the
You know what
truth,
I
man.
mean?
That's the truth. And so everything in my mind has been subverted, when it comes to politics and religion, the things that they've told us were bad and dark and stuff, we're starting to see that those things were all right. So
Right.
I'm here about sharing the joy of that kundalini awakening with everybody, sharing the joy of gnosis with everybody, because that's the true gift that was spoken about in the original, biblical text before it was turned into something else.
Mhm.
um so like people say Christ is not a last name. Christos from the Syrian Aramaic was an oil like Crisco. We used to
Mhm.
use Crisco in the pan, right? So
Yeah.
when my man Yeshua said, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, he wasn't talking about himself in the third person. He was saying, I could do all things through this oil in my head, and you can too.
Exactly.
Turn up. You feel
And it's
you know what I'm
crazy. It's crazy. That's just like you just mentioned like another different culture. Like that's crazy.
saying?
Everybody has like a part to play. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
yeah,
find your part to play, it's such a cool thing to see. That's why everybody coming up with their gnosis and going on
that
their own journey and seeing it for
that's what
themselves
being a
because
light bearer is, my
yeah.
friend. So like when you see people on the internet and you see those little memes and they're like, Christ was Lucifer and stuff, they're not being disrespectful. They're going to the root of words. Lucifer means light bearer. Christ was a light bearer. What does that mean? He was showing you how to exercise that light from within. So that
Mhm.
means there have been other ones over time, and we might have just missed it because we were taught to look in one place when we should be looking all around us because the gods of Egypt live all around us, my friend,
Exactly.
and they
I love
live
that you have
through
that
us
paradigm because you really do carry it in your everyday life because it does
every
translate.
day. I'm
Because
I'm
when
I'm,
you
I'm
think that
Osiris,
way,
man. I'm Osiris.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
King
because when you think
Nimrod.
that way, you think that way about everything. Like even when I
Yeah,
do look at politics, I look at
yeah,
both sides. I look at the whole picture. I don't just look at one specific narrative. You know what I mean? But that's what
yeah,
throughout history they've been wanting us to do. Look at one narrative and then go on what they tell us instead of coming up with our own theory, our own gnosis.
yeah.
Super important.
It's about connectivity. Osiris, a King Nimrod. That I feel like I'm the return of that spirit, that energy. You know,
Hmm.
and for me, when Nimrod was building that Tower of Babel, it was a place where those like us could connect telepathically through Kundalini awakening, through diet, through just interconnectivity, and they could go through heaven's gate that way and destroy the egregores that have been created by the rest of society.
There's so
It's
many. And people make them without even noticing. But I think a lot of people in the higher ups, I think they know that. They know that if they get a lot of people to think a certain way, they could subconsciously make egregores, and that'll do a lot of the work for them.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm telling you, once you realize that you could pull the fake God out of the sky by his ears like
Hmm.
he was a baby,
Yeah,
and you could put yourself up there, that's when your life is gonna change. That's when you're going to see your business endeavors are are working and connecting, and people respect you because you got a different level of confidence, and all kinds of downloads are going to come to you because you've stepped into that godhood. You got to stop looking for somebody else to save you, and you got to be the hero of your own story.
Exactly. You got to be the main character for sure. But I think
Yeah,
when you do get to that point and you do surrender yourself to that, I think everything you touch is just going to turn to gold. Like you said, you're going to be God mode. Everything's going to be
yeah,
it's going to be good because you're going to be in the driver's seat. And I think that's why I like chaos magic so much.
love it,
It embodies
love
that.
that.
You know, it makes you in the driver's seat. It makes you write the book. I don't want to read somebody
Yeah,
else's book. I want to write the book.
yeah, for sure. Let me uh let me ask you this: are you a fan of the show Atlanta?
No,
Have you? Oh, you've never seen Atlanta with
I haven't seen it.
Donald
No.
Glover? Okay, okay. So there's a character named Darius, and the entire show he's like kind of the comic relief. He's the background. He's funny. Or when things are dark, he'll come through it, and you never really learn much about Darius. But when we get to the last episode of the season 4, it's all about Darius,
Oh, for real?
and you
I
finally
haven't seen it.
realize
What is it on Netflix?
Atlanta was on. It
That
was
sounds like a
on.
Hulu show.
It was on. It's on Hulu now, but it was on FX when it was out.
Mm.
The Donald Glover directed it. Childish Gambino.
Oh,
And
okay.
when
Yeah, I like
you
his
get to
stuff.
that final episode, for me, I realized Darius was the main character all
Hmm.
along, and
That's crazy.
Darius represents all of us.
Hmm.
We look at our friends, we look at what our friends are doing, and we're like, damn, they living a better life. That it would be easy at one point in my life. You could be telling me about all the things you're doing, working on your PhD, and I could be like, wow, this young man's really living the best life. And you are living a great life. But I could be like, wow, he's doing you know what I'm saying? And just be focused on what you're doing and see what I'm doing is so little, not knowing that I'm the main character in my story. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes we give that to other people. That's
we
why these
do.
girls are so obsessed with Taylor Swift. They see Taylor
Hmm.
Swift as their main character. And they need
Yeah.
Tay Tay to get married because they won't brush their teeth and go out and get married.
Hmm.
You know? And it's like once you start to realize you've been the main character all along, every
Exactly.
story has been about you. Even if it's the fourth quarter, even if it's the last episode of the fourth season, you can step up and be the main character.
Hmm.
And that's
That's why I
real
like
cool.
psychology so much. It's like one of the first classes I took. That's what we were learning. They were like, yeah, in this world, there are two types of people. There are followers and there are leaders. Like the people that are leading, they do it because they have a different way
Yeah,
of thinking.
yeah, yeah, for sure, my friend. I I uh I really love the book, the Arcane Schools
Hmm.
by John Yarker.
Yeah.
I would suggest checking that out. It's an older book. He was an esoteric Freemason like myself from the 19th century. It's an
Okay.
often forgotten book, but it'll open your eyes to how magical this world really is. Some of the things he's speaking about within that book. It's not a granddaddy's Freemason book. It's a
Okay.
it's a let's jump through the wormhole type of book, you know.
Yeah.
And I always suggest for minds that have a hard time astral projecting or even conceptualizing any of this stuff, start with a book, Alice in Wonderland. That's where I started as a kid. That's the original rabbit hole. That's where the whole term down the rabbit hole came from.
Yeah.
So if you can't imagine jumping out of this world into the next realm, read Alice in Wonderland. Don't watch the Disney movie, it's trash, but read the book.
Yeah.
And that's going to open your mind, you know. Parliament Funkadelic said, free your mind and your ass will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Yeah,
Most
man, I'm
definitely.
excited to write this book though. We should definitely this should be a project that we like work on for like the next couple months. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be fun.
I got some things I'm gonna send over to you this week. Some things I've been working on, and I think we could either expand on that or just go back and forth writing little chapters and things and just come together as two great minds. I think they would be very happy to hear from us out there in Magic Land.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. And I know a couple authors that have like self-published and got their book out and now their book is sitting in like Barnes and Noble and shit. So it's pretty I we can figure out the process, you know. All we got to do is just we got to
Hell
do the
yeah.
middle. We got to do the middle part.
Yeah, it'll give me an excuse to get out to California to take my girl on a little vacation, go out there and do a book signing.
Right? Yeah. That's cool, man. That'll be cool to like add to the resume like, oh, author. Like that's cool.
Most definitely, man. Tell me about your experience with astral projection.
I only really get it, of course, when I'm sleeping most of the time, but when I do, I take it as like a sign. So
Okay.
the reason I'm in college right now is because of I had like a dream that was like an astral dream, you know what I mean? And I was in
Okay.
college in that dream. So I took and I never dreamed. That was like the first dream in like 8 months. Something
Mm,
crazy like that. So I'm like every time I dream, I'm going to take it as a sign to like pay attention because they're always so vivid.
mm.
But yeah, I don't astral often. I think I had sleep paralysis. So when I was having my spiritual awakening, I was having a lot of sleep paralysis, but I would realize the fucking sleep paralysis demon, he would taunt me with things that I was like working on with my shadow work.
Okay.
But
Okay.
then it was like right at the start, there was like a lot of shit that I had
Yeah.
to work on, right? You know, get the foundation, like
Yeah.
really figure out myself. And that was kind of like a punishment. I dealt with that a lot. Like it was a lot of sleep paralysis. But then I realized once I got over that hump, I would still have sleep paralysis, but he wouldn't be there taunting me anymore. It would just be kind of like
Mm.
reflection time, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't last 6 hours. It might last an hour and a half.
Most
And I have a
definitely.
clock where I can when I'm half sleep paralysis, I see it. I have a clock right there just so I can know what time it
Yeah.
is, you know, how many hours until the sun comes up or whatever. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. 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 That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've had over my entire life before I knew what astral projection was. I've had a series, not in succession, but a series of very vivid, strong dreams. Dreams that I've had. I'm 37. Dreams that I had 35 years ago as a
Really.
toddler. Oh yeah, that I still try to figure out to this day. But
Yeah.
once I figured out how to astral project, I do project in my sleep sometimes. But I'll sit here with the lights off and get into my Kundalini meditation and project in the middle of the day. I'm one of those kind of travelers.
Yeah, you
Um,
should talk to Ruby. I think you were talking to her in the Discord, right?
yeah.
She's really good at astral projecting. She's that's one of her things that she's like really like got good at. And I've saw her like
Okay.
go from like 0 to 100 like when
Okay.
she first
Yeah.
started her practice to like now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I went to North Pole Heaven a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I'm positive like that's where it was. You know, there is a heaven on earth. There's the heaven in your mind, but there is a heaven on earth, and it's at the
Mhm.
North Pole, um, aka New Atlantis. Um, and I projected there. It was like a crystal city, almost like kind of how the Emerald City was stylized in the Wizard of Oz.
Mhm.
Um, except for
So
I
was this like a
saw
more astral projection projecting or was this more like remote viewing? Cuz I also wanted to talk about remote viewing.
no. I was physically there.
Oh, okay.
I manifested there physically. So okay, so to be clear, um, I'm pretty sure everybody's experience is a little bit different, but I'm just gonna explain mine. I was fully anchored here in my basement, sitting on my floor, Indian style, breathing, doing the Kundalini. My all my
Meditating.
chakras, were activated from the root chakra to the pineal gland, which was buzzing.
And I'm
But
glad
at
you
the,
said that too, really quick, just because a lot of people, when you, that's how you know, like you really went there because the first step has to be meditation. You have to put yourself in that mindset of going there, right?
yeah,
So I'm glad you
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
for sure. And like I could feel myself touching the floor. So it's not like, oh, I was walking in. Like it's not like a movie like that. But I materialized in this other place that I hadn't been thinking of this place or envisioning this place. I'd only been trying to project. That's how I know the experience was real. And it looked like the hallway of a shopping mall, like the way that the pathway and everything looked. It looked like there were doors. It was set up like a shopping mall, except for it was all crystal. And I couldn't
Hmm.
really see into the doors. I could just see that they were doors. And I saw a ton of black people. But they were like dark, you know, like Africans, like chocolate. They were tall. Everybody was fit. They were all wearing white. And they all looked at me like, and they were, I was looking at them, but they looked happy. It wasn't like nobody was shocked. They were kind of, they looked like they were surprised to see me
That's
looking
crazy. That you
looking
said
how
that they
I
were all
look.
black people.
Yeah, but they were like clean cut, like no tattoos. You know what I'm
You
saying?
remember that
They
dream I told you about earlier when I was in when I it made me go to college?
yeah.
That was the reason why, because so in my dream, I went to college. I was studying psychology, but I was studying it in Russia, in Siberia specifically. And I didn't realize
Okay.
Siberia is like a big ass city. It's like 7 million people. It's a big ass, like futuristic city. And I only
Okay.
realized that until after I woke up, but after I researched it. But
Wow.
when I was in my dream in Siberia, I was so surprised. This is why I'm in college now, because I went to Siberia in my dream. And I'm like, I'm in Russia studying psychology, and there is so many black people. Like that was the whole point of the dream. Like I didn't realize there were black people in Russia, but it was
There are.
like northern Russia, like Siberia, right?
Yeah, there
So
are.
that was why I'm in college because I'm like the black people. So that's why I'm like, dang, that's
Yeah.
so funny that you mentioned
It's,
black people because that's literally the reason why.
yeah. I mean they look good, man. It was like Afro futuristic black exploitation. They look good. They were tall, like I said. Not like the tallest motherfuckers in the world, but they was tall. At least I'm about 6 feet, and like on the low end of 6 feet, like I'm 5'11", but I tell the ladies I'm 6 feet. You feel me? But
Hmm.
they were all like a little taller, but not like not frighteningly tall. But I tried to speak, and it felt like I was underwater, but I wasn't wet. You know,
Hmm.
it was like a pressure. I couldn't open my mouth. I'm on my knees. I'm almost out of breath, and they kind of come to me, and they're not attacking me or anything. That they're like holding me like a it's okay type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I finally speak, and words come out, and they hear me, and they look so surprised. I say, what did I say? I say, I love y'all. I say, we love y'all, but a
Were
lot of us can't remember how to get back here.
Yeah. Were they trying to like get you to like come to them? Were they trying to get you to like come to
No, they
like
were trying to get
something?
me to calm down because they could see like they could see, oh, I was like spazzing, like not spazzing in a freaked out way. They were just trying to get me to, you know, like that. They were kind of comforting me. It was men, women. It was just like a group of people. And I
Yeah.
finally spoke. I said, we love y'all. I was just letting them know we love, like Earthlings love y'all. Black people, like the people that look like y'all down here, we love
Mhm.
y'all. We just can't remember how to get back here. We're trying to tap back in. And they were just kind of patting me and soothing me, letting me know it was all right. And I realized I realized that they hadn't heard language out loud in quite some time. That's why they were laughing at me. They were like, "This motherfucker's still talking."
Yeah, were they like,
they
was it
talk with
because they're
their
so
head.
so? Yeah, I was gonna say because they talk like in there with
So
telepathy. That's
they was
crazy.
like, man, this motherfucker talking. He got tattoos. He got facial hair. Like none of them really had. Like I saw like like maybe like sideburns and stuff like that. But they were like me, but they were different. They looked ancient, man.
Yeah, ancient
They
but kind
looked
of
different.
futuristic. No.
And I had never heard that clip of the gentleman from NASA that had talked about about the space folk that got off the plane. Did you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
He said how they got off the plane and they all he said they all looked like black Americans. He said they were tall though. And he said they had an arrogance on their face like a people that had never been conquered. I like that part. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you think?
I
Yeah, I know. I love that. Do you think?
and
Do
that's
you
how they
think they're
look to
like
me. But
us? Like you know
huh?
how with us, they're black people, they're white people, they're Chinese people. Do you like we have different races? Do you think it's the same thing with them?
Yeah, yeah.
You think so?
They were very much like us. I'm sure there were other people there. I think wherever I popped up at, I just popped up where a group of black people were at. I think that they're very much like us. Um, I think we're a lot more mixed and blended with different bloodlines and hair textures and stuff like that. I think you have the tall Nordic whites, which
Do you think
people
we're
do.
altered like genetically?
Yes,
Humans. I do too.
100%.
Yeah. It
One
doesn't make
hundred percent.
sense. The human
I
brain
think
like
that's
tripled
why I
in
look so
size.
different to them. I think that's why I
Yeah.
look so different to them. But they were gentle with me. That they weren't treating me like I was other or like that. They were happy to see me, but they was like, damn, like he done popped up and now he's trying to talk. They were kind of laughing at me, but they weren't making fun of me or trying to scare me. It was just it was a different kind of energy, man.
Do you think the
Um,
energy would you say the energy was like when like a person gets around like a gorilla, like we look at like a less evolved version of ourselves. Was it like that or was it more like you guys are on the same level?
Well, oh, wait, I'm sorry. Do, do you mean like I felt I was less evolved than them?
Yeah.
I no, I didn't feel that way. I felt like they had a lot of technology, which I couldn't really see. I'm like the that's how I had this experience because I'm not like just going to tell you, oh, I saw computers and all that. All I saw was this crystal city that was very clear. I could even take you to a shopping mall and show you kind of how the area looked. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I believe
I
you
couldn't
because
see any
a couple of things of what you
technology.
said.
They
You know
were
what I mean? It's
dressed
like,
very, very clean cut. I felt like they just were privy to things that I wasn't privy to. I
yeah.
didn't feel like they had mental abilities that I didn't. Um, Other than the fact that they were talking telepathically, but I felt like if I kicked it with them long enough, I'd be on that too.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Yeah.
I manifested in a way where they could see me and touch me, but I wasn't physically there fully and completely. And I feel like there's either a stronger way to project there and stay there, or in order to stay there, we would have to physically walk through those gates. And
Do
you're
you
not going to
think
get to that part of the North Pole without getting some military interference.
yeah. Do you think you were like a ghost to them?
I was a
Like do you
touchable,
think
I was a
you
touchable ghost. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah, yeah.
crazy. Like a poltergeist, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think they were just like, damn. And I think, a lot of times the people that pop up there are like yogis and stuff like that. I don't think that they really catch too many brothers with tattoos and chains and
Yeah,
stuff
right.
popping up. So I think that's why they were smirking. They was like, oh, this motherfucker got it. They was like, we got one, we got one. I think it was like that, but it was joy. They
Hmm.
had the same type of dry sense of humor I have.
Yeah,
I think
right.
they
Like, and
I think the
that's why I
reason they
believe
were
you, because that's what I
laughing.
hear a lot when people have these kind of experiences. They say like these NHI or these aliens or these other beings, like whatever you want to call them. They say that they're so similar to us. Like they have families and they want entertainment and they like jokes and shit. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
so similar to us.
It was like I met some space Africans or something. They didn't
Yeah,
they didn't scare me. People talk about the bug eyes and stuff. I don't remember what their eyes looked like.
but you
Um,
remember that they were different than us.
I remember that they were different. I remember that they were black. They were Moorish. I don't really like to use that word black really, but they were people of color for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. They had soul power. They put seasoning on the food. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like it was that kind of vibe. But they were just fit. They looked good, man. And that
Yeah.
skin was shining, man. And I popped up and they seen me and I seen them and it was we were just laughing like, bruh. It was like, oh bruh. It was
They
like,
probably were
oh
laughing
bruh.
because like they were like, "Oh, he figured it out." Like, "Oh, another
Yeah,
human
like
like got here." Like that's cool as hell.
yeah, it wasn't sinister at all.
Yeah,
And
it was
then
wholesome.
I slowly dissolved back into my basement. Um, and I've been trying to get back there. I mean, I've projected actually back there, but I was in a different room and I didn't see any people that time. I don't know if they were asleep or if I was just somewhere where they weren't popping out, you know, but I've been back one time, and that was a couple weeks ago. So it's not like something I expect to achieve every day. But the
It
North
does use a
Pole
lot
has
of energy, I bet, right?
a lot of energy, man. Just like tarot for me. Like anytime I read tarot for somebody, if they got a lot of energy on them, I feel tired, man. But I want to dub back on something. You talked
Hmm.
about the sleep paralysis demon. I don't believe that's a demon. I believe that that's closer to some form or hierarchy of angel, what we would call an angel. I think demons are much more low vibrational and
Yeah.
a lot weaker than that. The reason I
Hmm.
say that is because the sleep paralysis thing is hard to overcome if you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
A, a,
What I thought it was when I was like dealing with it a lot, I thought it was like an egregore. I thought it was like something that was there to make me understand myself, and it was gonna every night put me through my trials until I
yeah,
figured it out. You know.
exactly, exactly. Like
So he had a
a demon
purpose.
is alcohol. Like
Yeah.
the spirit of alcohol. That is a demon. It is
Mhm.
something that if you are fully aware of yourself when you're on it, you can navigate it. But if you get too drunk, it could take you over for that little bit. But
Exactly. It possesses
it
you.
holds no major power.
Mhm.
That's what a
Low
demon
level
is.
demon. Yeah.
Yeah, we can command and make demons do whatever.
Exactly.
That's how I know some of the things that are in the Goetia, that are called demons are not demons. Those are either what we would call angels or some various ancestral entities, or what some cultures would call gods.
Mhm.
Because demons are much more low vibrational. Demons aren't kings like Pyman. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know, these were once desert entities that were worshipped. And through a Eurocentric vision, they were called demonic.
Yeah, they were
You know,
demonized, right?
yeah. But a real demon holds low vibrational a demon that can't do shit to you.
But they want to
Once
make you
you
think that they can, you know, that's and you giving them that little bit of fear, that energy exchange, that currency. You paying them pretty much to fuck with
yeah.
you.
Most things are about fear of us, fear of our culture, um, fear of what we can do. You know,
Fear of the
prior
unknown.
prior to the Nephilim tweaking the bloodlines, there were no blood types. There was only the universal donor.
Mhm.
type O. You know what I'm saying? So when you got type A blood, AB blood,
Yeah, that's
B blood,
weird. All humans should have the same blood because we don't have, it's not like we have different bones. It's not like we all have a different brain. We should all have the same
we've
blood.
been
That
tampered
alone
with.
it makes me think that we were like
We've
genetically
been
fucked with at some
we've
point.
been tampered with.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to figure out what your skill set is. And it's so crazy. My grandmother believed that we were of pre-Adamic men and that we were related to Enoch,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who became Metatron. So when people talk about angelic magic and all of this different stuff, if Metatron been given all the keys to heaven, all the keys of creation, and that's
Mm-hmm.
genetically my pop, that's why my
Exactly.
magic works that way.
Exactly.
And
Because
through
you have
chaos
that
magic,
cultural lineage. And I
through
think
chaos magic,
that's
it
key.
either works through truth or through belief. But when I
Yeah.
looked up my blood type, type B, esoterically, that's the Enochian bloodline. So my
Mm-hmm.
grandma didn't lie. She
It's
was
your heritage.
educated.
That's why your magic works that way.
She was educated, but I'm telling you, my grandma didn't know nothing about medicine, about
Yeah.
blood. She knew about knowledge and all kinds of different stuff, but she didn't know that much to tell me she believed we were of an Enochian bloodline. And then for me to actually look up my blood type and it's specifically an Enochian bloodline. That
And
she
it's the
didn't know
reason why
that
other
much.
people's blood won't work with your blood,
Exactly. Exactly. And
which is crazy. And nobody talks about those things, but that's an experiment that you can do with every human, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh, every single human, and it's on us to figure out who we are and who we mix well with. Um, you know, friendship wise, genetic wise, and things like that. But like when you start to look deeper, at this world, you look at eugenics and Planned Parenthood and a lot of the things that happened in the 20th century. You realize that they were used as a genocide against us,
Mhm.
not because we are perceived as this, but because we're perceived as this. You understand what I'm saying? We're
Yeah,
perceived as something magical. You know, we thought it was just because of the hue of our skin, and it was because of the magic in our blood.
exactly. And it's like you said, it's in everybody, and it's sad that there's gonna be a lot of people out there that don't even try to understand themselves in that way, but it's like the people that do, it's like that saying, "More power to you," because it is. It's
Yeah,
like more power to you. The more you figure out yourself, the more you're gonna
right.
just
Because
be
and
better, you know?
that's why I wanted to use this time to say, man, any Freemason, black, white, whether you came up through just a regular square and compass blue lots,
Mhm.
whether you came up through Prince Hall, whether you branched off and became a 33rd degree initiate of the Scottish Rite, or you became a Knights Templar in the York Rite, or you branched off into the Shriners, or any of that,
Yeah,
to understand the degree of the Master Mason and to know the mystery and the secret of Hiram Abiff. You know that Hiram was a brother, maybe a few shades darker than myself.
mhm.
And if you do things to exclude and to keep brothers like myself in the dark, if you do things to separate yourself from the Prince Hall Masons,
Yeah,
if you do things that exclude people of the light and of these original bloodlines, that is unmasonic in nature.
yeah.
It is your job, if you are a Mason of European descent, to uplift and to be a custodian of this knowledge and join hands with your brothers of the different hues.
Mhm.
That's why there's confusion about whether we are good in nature or not, because there's
Yeah.
division amongst our ranks. Just so you know, your screen's frozen, brother. I don't.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that right now. I'm like, why the hell am I
Okay.
frozen?
There's division, but anybody who blesses a son of Hiram Abiff
Mm-hmm.
will be blessed themselves, and is in the true alignment with the universe and with the grand architect. I'm here to end all evil ways and close all gaps and
Mm-hmm.
end all division between Mason and non-Mason and between Masons on both sides of the aisle. So I'm asking all of my brothers, all of my sisters, join hands with me in those respects, and let's make this a better world and a better place for all magical people.
It'll only be a good thing for everybody. You know what I mean? Like I really do see it as being everybody's having the spiritual awakening right now. A lot more people are being open to this. A lot more people are, you know what I mean? So I think
Exactly.
it's just a good thing that's gonna be if everybody knows themselves truly, like that version of yourself when you go to bed at night, you can't bullshit that version of yourself. Like that version of yourself. If everybody gets to know that person and takes
Exactly.
control, gets in the driver's seats, does
Exactly.
finds their things like that they want to do
Yeah,
what
man.
truly like do what they want to do, not just
Yeah.
exist but like live.
Yeah, man. So like that's the world that I want to see exist. A world where you can understand life through your own dogma, tap in that
Exactly.
to the God within, which is the grand architect of all this design. That's what was meant when it said one nation under God. That's what was meant.
Hmm.
Period. That's what the eye on the top of the pyramid is.
Yeah.
It's you looking back
Hmm.
down at yourself.
And it's crazy. I actually have that as a tattoo. I'm mad that I would show you right now if I wasn't damn frozen. But
It's
I have
all
a
good.
tattoo I got a couple years ago, and it
Okay.
was of this triangle with this eye in the center of it. And it's just like I never like my tattoo artist. I'm just like just do like a filler, it's like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
the inside of right there. So I'm like, just do a filler, and that's what he came up with, and that's kind of crazy.
Exactly. That I mean, it's a beautiful thing for me, man. So, if you have any more questions about that and my beliefs in those respects, feel free to ask away, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. And I encourage anybody that wants to know more about the true nature of Freemasonry, get in contact with me. If you want to know, more about the Moorish and Kemetic roots of this
Yeah.
thing. I'm gonna give you one big tip. You always hear Freemasons say, "Look to the east," right?
Hmm.
So it makes a little sense when you think, a lot of science and stuff is over there eastwise, right?
Right.
But back in the days of the Book of Enoch, east and west was the complete opposite of what it is now. So we're sitting on the east right now.
Oh shit. Yeah, yeah. We're in the
We're,
east.
we're sitting in the middle of middle of Morocco. We're sitting in the middle of Kemet right now.
Hmm.
So if you're looking for those old prophecies, look no further than what's right under your feet.
Exactly. And I think
Yeah,
we should do this a couple times because I think you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of things to
we
say. And I
will.
think I think this will be good.
We
I only say
will.
that
I'm
just because I'm frozen and I don't know how to get it unfrozen. But yeah,
for
this should
sure.
definitely be something we do a couple times.
If this is the Johnny Carson show, I'm gonna be Richard Pryor. I'll be showing up for the next 2 decades.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
I,
cool. I think it's important. Like I said at the beginning, these conversations are important because I
yeah,
think a lot of people are going to be able to relate and connect and be like, "Dang, I'm going through kind of something similar."
yeah. Yeah, man. And it's I'm gonna tell people because I know my girl doesn't like sometime how I get so scattered in my thoughts. When you meet and when you hear people that have an answer for everything, and they're so calculated and directed in their speech and the trajectory of their conversation, be wary of those people.
Yeah.
Trust the man that stops to think and that might pivot in the middle of the conversation. Trust the man that's not afraid to correct himself. You know,
Hmm.
anybody that's a little too calculated, I'm very wary of them.
Yeah, for sure. But you can always, it's one of those things you can always tell, like psychically. I don't know how you can tell, but you can always tell when people have put in the work and they've done shadow work and they're getting to know themselves, even if they're at it's the first day. You can tell. They're just different than people that haven't.
That's the spirit of discernment, my
It's
friend.
discernment. It's just you
Discernment.
understanding what's real and what's not. I do that a lot. That's huge in my practice with like
Yeah,
spirit communication and just understanding, okay, what's walking through the door? Is it spirit? Is it
yeah,
deity? Is it a demon? Is it anything? You
yeah.
know?
Most definitely. I would love to share a couple book titles with you
Yeah,
before we part
of
ways.
course.
Um, the art and practice of astral projection
Okay.
by O'Feel.
Ophel.
O'Feel is one of my greatest teachers. He passed away some years ago. Actually, I think the same year I was born, but it's almost like he's talking to me right now. A very kind older gentleman, and makes astral projection very easy to understand.
Okay.
Um, I would also suggest Moonchild by
Okay.
Aleister Crowley. Now, Moonchild is often disregarded, not disregarded, but undervalued, I would
Hmm.
say, because it's not a grimoire like a lot of Crowley's work.
Right.
Um, it's a novel, but it talks about a war between secret societies and the race to make a moon child, a child that's been infused with spirits from another realm. Sounds familiar, don't it? So
Yeah.
I
I'm
wanted,
actually gonna check that one out too because I like those. I like the grimoires, but I also like those kind of books where it's like
I
you're
w-
getting to understand him through him being
yeah,
creative.
I'm saying like he's giving you the play on what's going on behind closed doors. You feel me? What's
Hmm.
going on
And he was right in the middle of it too. So
in the
it's just like,
lives of people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, or maybe what was going on
hmm,
Epstein Island.
oh, it's all connected, man. I'm telling you.
It's all connected. Um, I would also like to say you got to check out dimensions of the Enneagram Triad. You
Yeah.
feel me? Dimensions of the Enneagram Triad. That's a
Okay.
really good one. That's by Thomas Thomas Garrett Isham. And then Angel Magic by Jeffrey James.
Angel magic. Okay. So is that more like light magic?
No, I mean, okay, so yeah, in a way, I don't like to use those words like light and dark because it's like if like angels aren't like little chubby Caucasian babies
Yeah.
with wings, you know.
Hmm.
So angels can have an attitude; they can
Oh
get kind
yeah.
of spite. So yeah, it is work of the light. It's not it's not evil magic or anything like that, but it's
And I definitely
angel.
agree with you on that too. Because I don't
It's
think
like,
everything is light or dark. I think everything just kind of is. Everything's
yeah,
just there.
for sure. If you
Yeah.
want to understand chaos magic, get the Principia Discordia, and then you'll
Hmm.
understand quantum memetics a
Or
little
anything
bit
by
more.
Peter J. Carroll is good.
Right. Love that stuff. And then
Hmm.
also the Illuminatus trilogy by what's my guy, man? I'm not thinking of his name right now. Anyway, Anton, the Illuminatus trilogy. Get that.
Hmm.
It's a novel, it's a series of novels, right? But it plays as a, I'm giving away the game. It plays as a directive for the 33rd degree. If you want to embark on some high level remote viewing, astral
Mm-hmm.
projection, espionage, and psychic warfare in the Cold War, if you want to throw hands with some mystical beings in the astral realm and swag it out from 4D to 5D and then back to Taylor Swift's apartment, then get the Illuminati's trilogy. It's a novel and there's a lot of humor and stuff in it, but you're gonna
Okay.
get to reading it and you're gonna be like,
There's some gems in it.
why does it make too much? It makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's too real world for it to be a fake story, you know.
Right.
So that, and then the last one, Edadorpa. Look that up.
Okay.
Edadorpa is about alchemically changing your soul in the gold and becoming an immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, also a novel which has esoteric truths in it. Don't
Okay.
sleep on it. If you got Amazon points, go get those books right now.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna check those out because I love reading those kind of books because it just opens your mind to like different kind of ways to see in the world for sure.
Yeah, man. Something I want to speak to you about, which we spoke about on the phone, and then I realized as I was wrapping up our conversation, I'm like, we never really talked about that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
be, being being a man of color in this space.
Oh, it's crazy. Being a guy in chaos, anyways, is like being a black guy is like I'm really like 2% back, like in the 2% percentile of like people that really
Yeah,
are in this space, right? It's crazy.
it's
Yeah,
so
it's different, right? Because and I think that's what draws people too, because you're not like the poster child of it. You're like doing things
mhm.
differently. You know,
Yeah,
we're like we said earlier, we're in the driver's seat. We're doing this how we want to do it. So it's like I think
yeah.
people see that, you know, so it is cool.
A lot of people love engaging and just talking about different things because I think sometimes they're pleasantly surprised by my interest. And then sometimes I feel like other people are quick to have a desire to want to discredit me.
Yeah.
You know, and then they either realize that I'm a nice person or they realize that, you know, I'm willing to stand up for myself and they kind of back down. I remember I was
You have
having
conviction in your words, and that's
yeah,
it's more
yeah,
than
yeah. And then they're
confidence.
like,
And
okay,
that
okay, he's
shows way
serious.
more than anything else.
Yeah, I was having a discussion about something online the other day, and the first thing somebody hit me with was like, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "Yo, bro." I'm like, "Yo, don't." I'm like, "I don't want no smoke. Don't come for my pockets, bro." So the first thing I counteracted him with, because I think he thought I was gonna get aggressive with him. I looked at his page and I saw he played guitar too. And then I commented on the guitar video because I liked his playing. I was like, "Yo, excellent playing, bro! Like sweet music, like you should keep it up." And then he never went back to that aggressive tone with me. He kind of was like, "Okay." He
Yeah.
complimented my guitar playing, so I can't be an asshole. But as soon as I started talking quantum physics, he took a
Hmm.
look at me and was like, "What do you do for a living?" That
Yeah,
that's what being black and being you know being me and in
for sure.
esotericism
Because
is
you're
like.
very
Yeah,
like unassuming too to like see you and to think you're so into the esoteric and the occult and all these things. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Or just that I like to read more than I like to bullshit or
Yeah,
you know.
because that type of person makes the kind of person that likes to do research and to read and to like study and like, you know,
Yeah,
makes for a cool person.
most definitely, man.
But
Most
I do definitely notice it.
yeah, yeah. It's, you know, at first it was very isolating, but I think as my videos started to get out there more to, you know, people around the world, people over in Europe and stuff, I started to see that love. I started to see how much people really like us and look for us in those spaces, you
Yeah, they
know.
do.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do,
yeah.
because it's crazy. It's like imposter syndrome in a way, because it's like you think that they don't like you for reasons that we make up in our head. But really they do like us a lot. They fuck with us a lot, you know what I mean? And they just want us to like the things that they like. And when they
Yeah.
do come across people that like the things that they like, they're like, oh, somebody different in the space, you know, like the paranormal podcasting space is very small, you know. So just being me in this space and doing things how I do things, you know, it's definitely different, and it makes people gravitate to you. And I think that's cool
It,
seeing that happen in real time.
it's like what I was saying about popping up in North Pole Heaven and seeing those dark faces there. Uh, I think sometimes there are people that don't want to give our people that credit of
Yeah.
being them. But then there's
Hmm.
another group of people I've noticed. I think they're afraid of sounding like they're accusing, even if they do know the thing. They want so bad to not come off as racist that they'll
Yeah,
never
so
be
they
like.
don't even want to make it a possibility to that. Like they can't even give you an inkling. Like, oh, this sounds
They,
fucked up.
there's a pastor who does a lot of writing on the Nephilim and the Genesis 6 theory, Gary Wayne, who I think is a very intelligent man. Um, and I don't know him personally, but I never get the feeling that he's coming from a place with hate in his heart. But I'm just in the comment section like Gary. A lot of these Nephilim, a lot of these descendants are black people, and I'm waiting for him to say it. And I think Gary doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be that guy. He doesn't want to get
Yeah.
into that. So like he does his research, he does his talks, and he'll say anything but that. And I'm like, there's a way to say it without sounding like you're calling for executions or what. Like that there's a way to get to this, man. And like,
Hmm.
if I gotta be the first one to be like, yeah, like that's who a lot of us are related to. Like I don't mind doing it. I don't mind being a solid example, and like letting people know, like, yes, a lot of us are pre-Adamic men and women. Like a lot of us come from these ancient bloodlines, and
Yeah.
we were taught about doing good. We don't have a desire to destroy the world and burn people. Like we're trying to awaken a light within so we can all live a little bit more comfortably and harmoniously within this space, and then we could focus about getting ourselves into the next frontier, which is the
Yeah.
astral world.
Hmm.
The next space is lateral. It's not a space above, it's about the spaces in between things. So that's all I gotta say about that. In the words of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. But I think it's important, like, especially nowadays with like the way that science is taking this seriously, and the way that so many people around the world are having these experiences in their life, and they're waking up to these possibilities that, yeah, everything is true, everything is real. It's
Yeah.
important to have people like you in the space that can be the, not the follower, but be the leader, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for that
Because there is
insight.
something to that, when you see somebody that looks like you in this space, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's not only being, who I am genetically. It's the things I've been through that have made me who I am. It's having a multicultural perspective, having traveled, having met various people, and I have a strong desire to elevate Freemasonry back to where it was as a
Hmm.
house of creation, not a house of destruction.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, like
changing the
we,
narrative on what you would assume a lot of people think about it. It's making it show its true colors, you know? What is it really?
yeah,
We need people like that for everything.
yeah. To be And illuminatus, the illuminated, is to light yourself up from within.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about scaring people or putting somebody's lights out. The original lodge, the Bavarian German lodge, that was the first Illuminati lodge, quote unquote, was originally what they call a strict observance
Mm-hmm.
lodge. Um, the gentleman who founded that particular lodge was under the impression that one of the original ascended masters was coming back, meaning somebody from the old temple, somebody that looked a bit more like you and I.
Yeah.
He died over there in Germany waiting on us.
Mm-hmm.
And
When
then
was this?
a gentleman named Weissap took over, and the lodge became divided on different things, and the German authorities shut him down for the time being, and that's where the beginning of the Illuminati legend kind of started. But when
Mm-hmm.
you realize they was waiting on us,
Yeah.
I showed up a little bit late. If you over there in Bavaria looking for me, holler at me on Instagram. I got a cash app. We got some work to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they was waiting to assist us in the great work, which is rebuilding Solomon's temple, which is a temple of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Once you rebuild the temple of the mind that we can all live in forever, then we can truly rebuild this realm, and we could truly get back to where we came from, in a place where we were just beings of light, not material beings.
Exactly. And it's not easy though. People always make it seem like it's so easy. Like you gotta get dirty before you get clean, right? You gotta make it, you gotta
Yeah,
build, you gotta break yourself all the way down before you gotta, but then
yeah,
when you're building yourself back up, that's you're shaping,
yeah,
you're molding yourself exactly how you want to.
yeah. That's why I thank I thank I thank my ancestors for making sure that I didn't blow up back when I was younger and trying to get my rap career started. Cause now that I
Mm-hmm.
see what done happened with Diddy and people like that, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to block all of the light bearers
Yeah.
in the world and keep them low vibrational, destroyed hip hop. And I grew up loving that music and Bad Boy Records. So if I had been
Mm-hmm.
offered a record deal at 18, 19, I would have tried to find my way into a Bad Boy Records deal. But
Right.
by, by the graces of the grand architect, no matter how much rapping and tapping I did, I just couldn't make it happen. And that was
Mm-hmm.
by design.
Exactly. Everything's
Because
meant
there
to
was a
be.
greater purpose on my life, and I couldn't be blocked by the evil ones of this world. That's what it's about. That's why the Tupacs and the Biggies were taken out, and everybody else who had a real light within was kind of pushed to the back, and you got all these dark-hearted cretins at the top
You can go
because
down the list and look at
they
everybody back in that time that was doing something and making moves and making had motion and that would had people that would listen and they were saying things like spiritual. Like Tupac was big in that. You know what happened? Why isn't he here today?
because it was some haters that saw that light
Exactly.
within,
Yeah.
saw that revolutionary power within, and they neutralized them just like they neutralized a lot of his mama's friends back when they were Black Panthers. But it's
It's
okay.
crazy.
It's okay because the new world order ain't the new world order they wanted. It's the new world order that we want, the one that comes from within. And it's all about faith, and it's about good works and being kind to your brothers and your sisters. And it's
It just
about
promotes a lot of really good things like being
exactly, exactly. So that's what we're building here. And we hold no fear, because if you know what I know, It's only about 10 people that run the world. Everybody else, everybody else, it, yeah. I mean, 9 people, but I'm just saying, just close to it. Think about it like this. You ever watch an episode of Law and Order?
Mm-hmm.
When they get to the courtroom scene, from our perspective, if we've been to the court, the judge is the most powerful person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're watching Law and Order, Olivia Benson or whatever detective is the most
Yeah.
powerful person in the room because they are the top billed actor in that room. The
Mm-hmm.
judge, be it a well-known face of an actor who used to be a hot young woman on a TV show and now she's playing an older judge or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're an extra.
Mm-hmm.
In the context of the scene, they are the most powerful person, but the top actor in the room is the most powerful person. That's what the world is. It's an episode of Law
Exactly.
and Order. The judge don't hold no power. That movie star don't hold no power. That politician don't hold no power. It's a man or a woman in a bathrobe. I'm telling you.
I
I'm
think the
telling you.
biggest fear they have is us. Like when I say us, I mean like the mainstream, like the masses understanding. Like
Hey,
we have God inside of everybody. That
that
that fire is
I'm
burning.
trying to tell him. I'm trying to tell him. It's the cat from Cleveland with the face tattoo. It's not the guy in the Testarossa. It's
Right.
not him. He don't run nothing. That money don't belong to him.
It's crazy.
That money don't belong to him. You better start asking how I made it this far. Come on now.
Right. Everybody's
That's
on a
what I'm saying.
path and there are no
You gotta start
coincidences.
asking the right questions. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's it's 3 people that popped up in this thing right now. I don't know if it's the same 3 people been watching in the beginning, or if we done had 100 people pop in and out. But whoever over watching Taylor Swift live stream or Beyonce live stream, they not running it.
Yeah.
That's the show, pony. This is the show.
Exactly. And I think that's the best part about it. The people that are meant to see it will see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The people that are also on that wavelength, they'll see it.
yeah, man. So with that being said, shout out to all my Discordians. Shout out to the Church of the Sub Genius. You know what's
Yeah.
going on. Shout out
Where can
to
people find you on your socials?
I'm 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 at Saturnian Cube. I'm a Saturnian Cube on Instagram and here on YouTube. I think on Twitter I'm Saturnian Cube 33. I like my Twitter because I don't got no followers hardly on Twitter. I think I'm following more people, so I get to kind of fall back and watch everybody else move on Twitter. X, I
Yeah.
guess. But
X.
yeah, man, hit me up on the Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. I don't get on there too much,
Yeah,
but
same. I don't
yeah,
use TikTok too much. I'm mostly on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, I'm
I'm
also gonna put your stuff in the bio. So
yeah. Tap,
that'd be cool.
tap in on my Instagram if
Yeah,
you
your
want to
Instagram is
talk to
cool.
me. If you want to talk to me directly, I'm always posting different vibes and videos I created, just trying to jog something in your mind, jog something in your memory. But I mean, truth be told, man, just like the song say, reach out and I'll be there. Put the bat signal up. That's how you find me. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They put the bat signal up.
That's how you
Exactly. I love
find me.
that.
Put put
We
put a G in the sky. That's how you find me.
hmm
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I think we'll do this a couple times. This is fun. So, and I like
most
these
definitely.
conversations are important. Like, you know what I mean? It'll find the right people and it'll be good. But we definitely
Most
got to do this a
definitely.
couple times, and we'll also start working on that book in these next couple months.
I'm very grateful for your friendship, and I'm grateful for who you are in this space in this platform. What's up, Human Earth? What's going on,
What's up,
everybody?
Human Earth?
I'm very grateful for who you are in this platform and in this space. It's very needed, and I can't wait for you to get your PhD so I can say I'm friends with a PhD, man. Yeah,
Right? It's crazy. You see a lot of people, like young people. I'm 27, so I should have this by like 35. So like
yeah,
you're seeing a
yeah,
lot of young people nowadays like doing like doing what they want to do instead of kind of conforming to society. That's what I'm doing. Like there's not going to
yeah.
be a ton of money in this, but I'm doing what I want to do. And I think that's
That
important.
that's what it's all about. Manly P. Hall wrote The Secret Teachings of All Ages and published it at 27.
Mhm.
And he had so much knowledge, and eventually he was brought in as an honorary 33rd degree Mason because of his writings. He really decided who he wanted to be in life. He didn't wait for somebody to bring him into the lodge and tell him that, he just did the work.
You got to
Just
take the steps and you got to do that. It's
hey,
not it's something like I always relate it to people like if you ever learn a language. Once you learn a language, it's something nobody can take from you. So it's like once you get to that point of doing something to where nobody can take it from you, that's how you
yeah,
know you've won in life.
yeah, man. I came from a mystical land called the 80s. It was a strange place where a man named Kevin Costner was the biggest movie star in the world, and he did a movie called Field of Dreams, and he
Mhm.
said, "If you build it, they will come."
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
That's a good saying. That needs to be on a hoodie, I ain't gonna lie. If you build it, they will come. Because that's so
Yeah,
true.
Field of Dreams, man.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about. You gotta build the world you want to live in. You can't sit back and wait on your governor and your politician to do it. You can't wait on no rapper, no singer to do it for you. You gotta be the change you want to see. You gotta tell
Right.
the universe what's going on because you're God, right? In the beginning,
Mhm.
there was the word, and the word was God, right?
Mhm.
What did that word say? Let there be light. What did you say? We gonna shoot a podcast. What did I
Exactly.
say? Hell yeah. Everything we will to be so will be so. It's that
Mhm.
simple. For
Oh, that's too cool, man. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do this a couple times.
so, man. For so,
Yeah,
man.
this is fun.
Looking
But
forward
yeah, man,
to it.
I'm gonna let you get out of here. But
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
man,
cool,
Gigi
cool.
Magic, this is fun, man. I think these conversations are important. I think it's fun. I think we're in an interesting time. I don't believe in our lifetimes we're gonna get to that point where we're like nonverbal communication, like talk and through
No,
telepathy. But
no,
I do
no,
think
no.
it's one of those things where you shoot for the moon and you aim and you land amongst the stars. Like we might not
Yeah,
quite get there, but we're still
yeah.
probably gonna get maybe a couple notches down from there. Maybe we're on some other shit. Like
Yeah,
we're gonna
no,
figure
no.
this out in our
We,
lifetimes for
we
sure.
gonna do that next lifetime. I'm gonna pop back in a new body next time. I'm gonna be like a. I'm next time. I'm gonna really do it up for the ladies. I'm gonna be like a little Michael B. Jordan, Brad Pitt, Denzel, collaboration, and I'm gonna come back and we gonna do the nonverbal communication. Then that's gonna be in the year 3025. I'll be back.
I love that, man. All
What's
right,
up?
I'll let you get out of here, man.
Peace, man.
Peace, peace,
Yeah.
peace.
All right.